Hello everyone and welcome now to game number 2 in the series between Infi and Foggy. Foggy has spawned as the yellow Night Elf on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile Infi has spawned as the red human over here on the bottom right. This is Tyrannistan game 2 in the series. As well, if you guys did not watch game number 1, definitely check it out. Some great game, or a great game played so far. And we'll see if game number 2 will be able to compete at the same level. If you guys have not already done so, but you do like what you're hearing, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button on at the very bottom. It's been quite some time since I've had a large jump in subscribers overall. One day, maybe if WarCraft 3 turns into WarCraft 4, I'll be able to hit 100,000 subscribers, and that would be great. But I would rather have 15,000 views on every one of my videos, knowing that you guys are enjoying this content. Also, if you guys haven't done so already, please hit that thumbs up button, as it does help with anyone else who's trying to find good WarCraft 3 casts. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Infi is doing down over here on the bottom right-hand side of Tyrannistan, opening up with that Archmage. No big surprise whatsoever. Gonna go ahead and train up that Footman and then make his way most likely down over here to try and clear out these relative easy creep camps. He could also, however, make his way off to the north and try to clear out this more difficult creep camp, but because militia are able to get into that position so easily, it can spread out some of the damage, because one of the main reasons that creep camp is so hard to clear is the slow casted by the mud golems and those other kobolds. Over here on the top left, we already see Foggy in position. There's that lightning shield. Archer gonna run inside and get some damage across multiple units here. Gonna go ahead and turn back around, get some damage across more units still. And once that Archer's lightning shield is nearly done, it will go ahead and back off. All right, Demon Hunter picks up Ring of Protection +2 and a Tome of Intelligence, and looking to finish off the remainder of these 3 apprentice wizards. The middle one does leave behind an item, and that item is going to be Gauntlets of Overstrength +3. Meanwhile, back off to the north, you see Double Wisp by Foggy, and this is important. What Foggy is really looking for is he going to try to aggro those creeps? He wants to aggro those creeps just enough so that the other Wisp can come inside here and grab this Forest Troll Shadow Priest. That Forest Troll Shadow Priest allows for a lot of abolished magic early on, but it also allows this Wisp to hide in the back and keep track of this particular this particular mercenary camp for when the human player does in fact try to creep it out. Water Elemental, is it going to get purged? Oh, it is purposely not attacking. Beautifully done there. If it had attacked, the Renegade Wizard would have immediately casted Purge. All right, Archmage needs to pick up that item. Sorry, my Chinese is rusty. It was a Sobi Mask, a beautiful item indeed, as Foggy now with Immolation burning through militia. That is going to be a problem, as another militia does fall. A third one could get taken down as well, as Evasion starts to proc. That is a lot of damage to be had. Forest Troll Shadow Priest by Foggy needs to back away once more, as the Demon Hunter with Gauntlets of Overstrength +3 and Ring of Protection may try to stick around these fights. Alright, no, Boots of Steed picked up instead. Didn't have enough time, and it looks as though he is just going to run off, maybe get 1 or 2 more shots off onto that one militia. Is it going to get taken down? Yes, it will, as one militia now holding the line, trying to protect the remaining units. Oh, this could potentially be bad. There is that beautiful use right there, as you now see the peasants just speed building one farm. That farm, very expensive to build, but it did protect them from the remaining units. Meanwhile, Archmage of Infi with that Sobi Mask, able to drop another Water Elemental a little bit earlier, now finishing off the remainder of these rogues off over here. Now, as you guys may notice, oh, an Archer, is it going to be able to finish off that Footman? That Footman down to 33 hit points. It broke Shadow Meld, but instead now needs to run away. The militia were making their way over, and the Archer just wants to get in position. Is it going to be able to Shadow Meld in time? No, it will not, as the Archer is getting pummeled by that Archmage. What is the follow-up strategies going to be? Scout farm down in position here. Demon Hunter teleported inside as he now goes and just fights inside the mineral or the gold line here. A lot of damage to be had. Demon Hunter just trying to run away. Gonna go ahead and run back. Is he gonna be able to teleport out? That is the big question now, as the Demon Hunter probably wishes that he had a Cloak of Shadows. No Cloak of Shadows as the Demon Hunter teleports away. There it goes. One water elemental in the back. A lot of footmen as well. And if those footmen were too far away to help, this would be a completely different game. Arcane Tower not yet upgraded. Archers and footmen putting on a little of a skirmish here, as there are a lot of footmen by Infi. Infi able to somehow produce a lot of units. It feels like a fair number of footmen, 5 footmen altogether, as the Demon Hunter wants to slip inside again once more. The problem is going to be whether or not he can get into the proper position. There is no way that he can run in right now, as the Demon Hunter just heads back off to the north. We do see an Ancient of War and a Goblin Shredder joining in on the fight here. Archers here as well. We may see perhaps some healing from a Wisp or some other, as we now see the Archer trying to go ahead and use that Lightning Shield effectively. All right, gonna go ahead and go after these 2 rogues or those brigands there, as we now see the Demon Hunter in position to try and clear up this expansion. However, Arcane Tower going to make a short work out of this expansion here, or the Demon Hunter. He's going to get some easy shots off onto some of these militia and some of these units, and that's all he's really doing. He's able to use that immolation rather effectively, but now that the Arcane Tower has removed the remaining bits of mana, the Demon Hunter cannot do all that much. Back off to the north, Demon Hunter does join in on the fight. The Panda is in position. Breath of Fire across multiple footmen. The Tree of Life, is it going to be able to get repaired? That is going to be the big question. Is it going to get there in time? It is gonna get, no, yes, it is finished. It was down to 61 hit points just as it finished. Archmage forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal as the Panda gets to level 2 already. All right. Apparently they just saw a giant spike to 700. That difference of a 7/10 of a second could have been the difference between victory and defeat if Foggy's instructions on those wisps to repair the Tree of Life was not given in time, or a slight delay on that Scroll of Town Portal. The Archmage would have been gone. All right, let's take a look at what's following up here. All of those footmen currently are healing while in the Goblin Zeppelin. They may try and drop into place. Meanwhile, the Tree of Life is going to go ahead and get itself rooted and into position, as the Goblin Zeppelin will most likely now put pressure on the main base instead. All right, Archmage gonna go in and drop a water elemental. We can see the damage already being done. Footmen going after that Ancient of Lore. We're most likely gonna see a cancellation right there. Picking up the unit, gonna go ahead and drop it back down. That one unit is taking a lot of damage as you see a shot coming in from the other direction. All right, are we going to see another water elemental dropped? I do not believe so. Demon Hunter with Immolation going to run out of mana again. And this is rather interesting as we see another Ancient of Lore being forced to cancel once more. Back down across over here, Archmage running away from the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter not going to be able to catch up. Sobi Mask on Infi's Archmage has been giving him plenty of mana throughout this matchup. Constant fighting across multiple sides as these footmen really have no business trying to take down a Tree of Life. That's not the Tree of Life, not Tree of Eternity, Tree of Ages. All right. Footmen now looking to engage back down across over here. Dryads taking a bit of damage, and we see Slow Poison and Breath of Fire. Oh, Foggy going to get some big experience here in just a moment as the Archers are getting in some good damage as well. Panda, hold on, was frozen for just a quick second, but all the units were able to get inside right there as we see Archers target practicing against this one Goblin Zeppelin. All right, Archmage is going to be able to get inside. That is the big question. No real worry as it cannot be affected by Slow Poison. Units are going to go ahead and engage once more. The Goblin Zeppelin going to go back and pick up the Goblin Shredder as we see him now, well, back down across over here. All right, Goblin Goblin Shredder is in a little bit of trouble. Archer going to get taken down as the Archmage still running away over here on the top right. Goblin Shredder down to 33 hit points. Is it going to fall? Yes, but at the hands of creeps. No experience given to the Night Elf's Demon Hunter. All right, dropping all the units once more, going after all those units. That Goblin Zeppelin down to 24 hit points, but the Demon Hunter without an Orb of Venom, unable to attack the air. Back across over here, a Footman trying to engage. Slow poison, and that will get taken out right there, as we now see the Water Elementals trying to go after the Dryad and the Archer. Abolish Magic not yet quite ready. Some easy attacks coming across again, as you see the Water Elemental going after the Dryad. That is not going to be a good fight at all, as it does get taken down. Panda almost at level 3. Good use of Scroll of Regeneration once more. Peasants repairing that Goblin Zeppelin. That Zeppelin will be able to take off and take to the skies once more, as we are looking at a speed build of a blacksmith. We are already at keep, and I believe, yes, we are getting level 2 masonry upgrades, as well as a single dual arcane sanctums. On the bottom left, Infi is taking the time to set down ivory towers for a potential third base. Archmage does have a Scroll of Regeneration, but will most likely not use it for now, continuing to creep and could get to level 4 before the next engagement. Archmage quickly drops down a Water Elemental here. Gonna go ahead and go after all of these units. A lot of slow to be cast. Archmage just now at level 4. Level 2 Brilliance Aura should be coming underway. There it goes. Better mana for multiple units again, as the Kobold Taskmaster will get taken down. I see a water word and the big. I don't know what that item is. Okay, so it's Greater Potion of Healing. All right, so yes, so die. Okay.
Forces are under attack.
Okay. I do know some Chinese characters. Even if I can read them, I can't tell what it is. All right, anyways, let's go ahead. Goblin Zeppelin now in the air, as one Hippogriff is trying to just poke this apart. However, it cannot stay next to the guard tower and the ivory tower, as it will get taken out relatively quickly. There is a Goblin Shredder down across here, and it is not harvesting any lumber since, well, it has mined the entire area already. Meanwhile, Town Hall being established here. Level 2 masonry upgrades. 10% bonus on those hit points already, and that could potentially be a problem once more. What is going to be happening next? Let's take a look down across over here. Archmage now trying to get away. Ivory towers. Ivory towers are going to be ready to go and be protecting this expansion location. Does he want to run there? No, he is not going to be running there. The Demon Hunter could get another mana burn again and burns off another 100 points of mana. That is going to be a tremendous blow, as the Panda now drops inside the base here. All right. Panda quickly drops in, blows down a couple of peasants, and then gets picked back up. Some brilliant tech once more. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter is going after all of these peasants here, as the Dryads taking a little bit of damage as well. All right, unbeknownst to them, there is a very heavily fortified expansion in play. 3 bases to 2, as the Panda is looking to perhaps get another Breath of Fire across onto all of these units. 98 hit points. Level 3 Breath of Fire should be able to do it. Only hits one peasant. Did not time that well at all, as the Goblin Zeppelin now needs to get away. All right, coming back across over here. Dryad taking a little bit of bonus damage again. Demon Hunter could just immolation, as the Mountain King comes in with the Stormbolt. Big problem now. Staff of Teleportation. Is it going to work in time? Down to 196.29, and it does get taken out. The Mountain King comes out of nowhere, Stormbolts, and prevents the Staff of Teleportation. Triple bases, and I still do not believe Foggy knows about this expansion over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. That is going to be some continual problems, as we see a Staff of Preservation to try and repair this one particular Goblin Zeppelin. Flying Machine is nearby. Slow Poison does not affect mechanical units, as the Goblin Zeppelin will be forced to repair. Alright, that Flying Machine still looking for an easy target somewhere. Rejuvenation, as Foggy is going to be pushing with a level 4 Demon Hunter and a level 3 Panda. Dryad's going to look for places to creep, but not be able to do so. And the majority of the creep camps have already been cleared out. Foggy looking to the bottom left here, going to be finding an expansion, and that's not what he wanted to see at all. A lot of towers, and there we go. All right, we should be looking at a rejuvenation there as the Druid of the Claw may try to go into bear form here in just a moment. Dryads are poking this apart. Breath of Fire not possible from the Panda as the bear. Is it going to go into bear form? No, it is not. Has enough mana, but still not, or still just now getting into that bear form with 0-1 upgrades. Dryads also upgraded with armor as well. Sentry Ward to keep track of the fights a little bit better. It looks as though it's going to be a +3 item. Not quite sure which one it is, as the Panda gets off a good Breath of Fire to deal damage across the board. Once more, a guard tower will get taken out. Demon Hunter doesn't pick up the item. Panda could have picked up the item, but decided not to for some strange reason. As that one, let's see. I cannot tell what item that is. My apologies. My Chinese is once again not that good. Stormbolt onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter unable to get the mana burn off onto that Archmage as the Archmage is backing off again. Are we going to see another Breath of Fire? There you go. Another big Breath of Fire across the board. Panda now sitting at level 4. No Stormbolt on the Panda within Arcane Tower reach, and that is going to be big news there as the Staff of Preservation does teleport the Panda back home. Panda perhaps going to be using, or did he pick up the Slippers of Agility? Oh, Staff of Teleportation to join back in on the fight. Down across over here once again. Both the Panda and the Demon Hunter with Staff of Teleportation, Staff of Preservation, they will be able to move around fairly quickly with the regenerative power of those Moonwells. Demon Hunter going to go ahead and engage Mana Burn, Anti-Magic Potion now coming across. Goblin Zeppelin picking up some low hit point units. Breath of Fire coming across there as the Panda does not want to get within range. If he actually gets within range and gets Stormbolted, that would be a lot of mana lost onto that Panda, as the Panda is going to try and engage right there. All right, Breath of Fire across multiple units. Going to go ahead and engage. You see Bears taking a lot of damage. Mortar teams are in the back, being able to just lob those attacks. Scroll of Protection as well, as the Footmen acting as a very strong front line, and the Guard Towers and Arcane Towers acting as the major damage dealers. Very, very high damage here, as Foggy really should not be fighting in this position, but doesn't really have a choice. He cannot allow this expansion to stay up and running. All right, more damage being absorbed there. The Panda could use oh no, Staff of Preservation. I was going to say he could perhaps try and use a Potion of Mana and then Breath of Fire across multiple units, being able to take some of those units out. Panda instead going to go ahead and heal up. Is he going to use a Moonstone and then teleport back down? These Moonwells are already bone dry, and he needs to use a Moonstone in order to properly maintain all of that mana. Not going to be in a good position for him for a little while longer, as Foggy now wandering around with that low hit point Druid of the Claw. All right. Peasants currently repairing these guard towers. Level 2 masonry upgrades. We are at Castle with a Paladin being added as the third human hero. Third human hero going to be important in order to keep all of those units up and running. This is the last major creep camp left on the map. As you can see, the Kobold Taskmaster still not yet taken down. Demon Hunter may go after it. There it goes. Command Aura, and item to be dropped is Scroll of the Beast. Tome of Strength getting an additional +1, but the Demon Hunter and the Panda, it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to win out in those fights. Foggy knows that he's economically behind, but he does have better upgrades this time around. 1-2 upgrades. He is not maintaining these Moonwells very well, though, and that could come back to haunt him. Let's take a look. Currently sitting at almost 700 gold, and this is sitting at low upkeep as well. Gold here, we are looking at about another 2 minutes of mining, and that is it, as the units will be making their way down here in just a moment. All right, Staff of Teleportation. Demon Hunter is ready to go in on this next fight. Scroll of Healing, double Scrolls of Healing. One needs to be given to the Panda in order to spread out the cooldowns, as we're going to be looking at a big fight once again. Those mortar teams are just going to be raining down shell-shocking damage across the board as the bears are now engaging. All right, mana flare across the board. You can see the units trying to heal. Such a big problem. Mana burn onto the Demon Hunter, or sorry, from the Demon Hunter to the Mountain King. Mountain King in a little bit of trouble. Potion of Invulnerability now being used as the mortar teams are focusing down into that front position. Fairy Dragon's going to get in position again, perhaps start trying to poke down those back units as the Dryads are in a bit of trouble. Mortar teams tearing them apart again as all of the bears now go into Druid form to try and get more mana once more. Staff of Teleportation heading back home. Is he going to use a Clarity Potion? Yes, he will. Has an Anti-Magic Potion. The Druids of the Claw are slowly walking back as well, as we see a potential, well, what is this? A little bit longer here. This is going to be finished mining in about 30 seconds. Meanwhile, this Tree of Life should be able to entangle this gold mine by the time these wisps get over there. Now, bears are all back in bear form once more. Demon Hunter sitting at level 5 should get level 3 mana burn, plus 8 damage. Fairy Dragons are upgraded to 2, so are the bears, as we're looking at what should be the next upcoming big fight. Guard Towers now with Sentry Ward, so no more Shadow Melding possible for the no units can even Shadow Meld at all. There is no female Night Elves in the army, so not quite sure what the Sentry Wards are for, short of a Potion of Invisibility. All right, Wisp are making their way over here to the top right, entangling that gold mine, nearly done, as it is going to be 2 bases to 2 here on Terranistan. This gold mine has about 105 seconds left to mine. This one is, well, 1 Wisp, 1 second away from mining, as the mortar teams now launching their attacks. Fairy Dragons are in position. Here we go. Mortar teams are just absolutely shell-shocking as we see a big mana burn onto the Paladin. All right, Demon Hunter could try and mana burn some more units as well. There's a mana burn onto the Mountain King. Mountain King now out of mana as well. Bears are pushing the counterattack. Footmen are fully upgraded at 3/3. Mana burn away from the Paladin as the Demon Hunter now low on mana again. Without the long range attack, Foggy's units are just constantly in trouble as Knights are now joining in from Infi. Infi with fully upgraded 3/3 units continuing this fight here, as we are looking at the Fairy Dragon starting to poke apart some of these units. Damage over time from slow poison, but healing or Scroll of Regeneration now being used. 80 over 96 supply. Are we going to get level 3 Masonry upgrades? No, we are not, but we are going to go into high upkeep. We are now only mining 12 gold a second compared to, well, 14? All right, yeah, the difference between the bases, but this gold mine is nearly done, so it will be 8 gold a second compared to 14 in just a moment, as Foggy is also at high upkeep. I take it back. Foggy is only getting 8 gold a second right now, so 480 gold a minute. Both sides with massive armies as in comes the next big fight. Demon Hunter needs to get into the position. Panda comes across, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, a lot of missing, but the Panda really needs to be able to hit those mortar teams to slow them down and take them out of action. All right, Knights and Footmen up in that front line. Scroll of Healing, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire again. Very, very slow damage over time as the mortar teams are just shell-shocking the bears. Water Elementals now being dropped down, and Infi rightfully decides to get out of this fight, and not that much damage was done, but we do see Chimeras. Chimeras added to the Night Elf army to try and deal with those frontline Knights. All right, a very, very long late game fighting constantly. 3/3 Knights, 3/3 Footmen, and those are going to probably end up falling. A lot of low hit point Knights, and what I am surprised about is, well, have we seen Staff of Sanctuary even been used? No, we have not. There is a Staff of Sanctuary on the Archmage, but I don't believe he's used it as of yet. Could try and use it on this low hit point guy right now and get him back up to full hit points in just a little bit. All right, let's see what's happening off to the north. Mortar teams are going to be ready to go. Trying to rejuvenate back up to full. That is a lot of bears that still need some rejuvenation, and they are not going to be ready for the upcoming fight. This is just constantly one of those situations where Foggy wishes he had about 15 seconds longer, or perhaps got a little bit more out of these Moonwells. 425, 354, double Chimera Roost, as the Chimeras are upgraded 3-2, dealing 70 to 134 damage per attack. All right, let's take a look at this. Sobi Mask Knights with 16 armor, 49% damage reduction. Inner Fire, an absolutely beastly spell on these units. All right, let's take a look at this. Guard towers slowly being added up to front. Gold down to 52 gold here compared to 136. Army sizes are comparable. There's a quick roar, and with no way to slow down the Knight, the Knight was able to back off. Mortar team's going to go ahead and engage. Are we going to see Focus Fire? Water Elemental quickly taking a lot of damage there. Are we going to see it taken out? Yes, we are. There goes one Water Elemental, going after the Water Elementals first to help protect the remaining units. And oh, wow, I would have thought that Knight would have been taken out. Nope, that Knight was not taken out, and it looked like Foggy got the best of that one fight. Fairy Dragons now looking to back off again. Level 7 armor, 30% damage reduction. Inner Fire on those mortar teams. Mortar teams are upgraded 3-0 with +8 attack. 10% damage bonus again, and here we go. Mana Burn once more. Water Elementals quickly going to get taken out again. There it goes. No Abolish Magic. Meanwhile, units are now backing off. The Chimera should really be going after the Knights instead of the Riflemen, or the mortar teams. Those are the higher priority targets that are dealing the majority of the damage. Holy Lights saving one mortar team for a little bit, as we are now looking at a big fight once again. All right, Bear in Druid or in Bear form, in Druid form, still in that front line position. The Chimera is still trying to fight this out here, as the units are now still backing off again. Demon Hunter not yet at level 6. You can see guard towers being built off to the side if those Chimeras can actually get in some big damage, and this is still the issue. Foggy is unable to heal consistently with these bears, and he needs just a little bit more mana and a little bit more time. The Brilliance Aura on this Archmage is really being the defining difference. Being able to maintain mana on these priests is what is allowing Infi to constantly push against Foggy. All right, Foggy trying to fend off this next attack. Dryads are in position. Are we going to see some Abolish Magic? No, there goes a Mortar Team Shell Shock. And those Dryads just having an absolutely horrible day, taking bonus damage once more. All right, Mortar Team's going to go ahead and get destroyed again. Fairy Dragons deciding to back off. Mortar Teams with that incredibly long range, being able to shoot so far, constantly attacking, and now, all right, is it going to be too much? Damage now coming across. Demon Hunter, Mana Burn, is it going to come down? There we go, there's the big engagement, and there's the counterattack. No healing coming across. Panda could try and get off a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire, but all the units are already in that backfield again. The Mortar Team's perhaps a little bit too fast, as the Demon Hunter is in a little bit of trouble. He needs to be able to get away and in a hurry, but this fight of attrition is just starting to be too much. Knights in the front line. Staff of Sanctuary saving some more units. Mana Burn onto the level 3 Mountain King. Chimeras going after the Water Elementals again. There goes another, but it is not really dealing that much damage. All right, double Potions of Invulnerability or a Divine Shield. Not quite sure, as we are still looking at a big fight here. Are we going to perhaps see a turnaround again? No, we are not. The guard towers are just in position, able to deal so much damage, and it looks like Foggy's army is just getting smaller and smaller, down to 73 compared to 80, and we see 2 units with that Staff of Sanctuary getting healed back up. All right, plenty of lumber to go around. Demon Hunter looking to try and get to level 3. Those Staff of Sanctuaries being used, I believe, better than the Staff of Preservation as an anti-magic potion being picked up by the Demon Hunter. All right, in come 2 additional Druid of the Claws, but they may be there a little bit too late. Chimeras are in the front position. Mountain King. All right, this Druid of the Claw. Oh, Staff of Sanctuary or Preservation saves that. Mortar Team unable, as we now see some... Are we going to see some repairs? No, Demon Hunter now in position, as we are now going into an engagement. Staff of Sanctuary already being used. Bear is now in position. Are we going to see some rejuvenations as well? That's what we need to be looking at. One bear should really go into bear farm. There you have it, as the Chimera should really be going after some of these other higher hit point, higher priority targets. Staff of Preservation saves a low hit point bear. Spellbreakers now trying to retreat back. More guard towers being added to that front line. Demon Hunter gets to level 6, turns into Metamorphosis. Poison chaos damage, able to deal so much damage. As you can see, the guard towers are just absolutely getting destroyed. All right, that chaos damage adding in so much, also adding in a little bit of splash as well. Needs to back off once more, as the Metamorphosis, well, it will be coming to an end. There is no reason for Infi to try and push while Metamorphosis is still up. That ranged splash chaos damage going to be far too much. It deals full damage across all types of armor, as the Panda teleporting back into position. All right, 2 Chimeras. We see a couple of Wisp. Ancient of Wonders now being added. Flares just constantly being launched overhead, and that is just a psychological game now for Foggy. Foggy cannot do anything in secret, and all Infi wants to know is, hey, is Superman back to Clark Kent yet? Is he done? And the next flare will show that, and I believe the army is going to go ahead and push now. Yep, there you have it. Mortar teams ready to see. Yep, I see that the Demon Hunter is no longer in Metamorphosis mode. My mortar teams are safe for a little while, as the Demon Hunter now tries to get in position. Here we go. Demon Hunter getting into position here. Stormbolt onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter in a little bit of trouble, trying to mana burn. Gets the Mountain King again, continuing to fight. Panda perhaps should just breath of fire all of these and let the Chimeras go after the easy targets and not push too far. It looks like Infi is just constantly baiting Foggy to get deep behind enemy lines and then surround them. This is like the battle with Hannibal Lecter against the Romans, being able to engage and then pull back enough to surround and conquer. All right, Chimera's now looking to pull back here. Bears now pulling back as well, but that is just far too much damage. Too many low hit point bears, and we are now at daybreak. This is going to be a very big issue. So many bears at low hit points. Mana Flare ready to go. There goes, I believe, a Dryad. There goes another bear. Mountain King going after some units there. And yes, Foggy cannot afford to engage, and Foggy cannot afford to lose this expansion. I believe this is going to be the end of the game, as the Demon Hunter comes back in. And does he have Metamorphosis? No, Scrolls of Healing to get those bears back into position. Wow, let's take a look at that. More mana burn coming across. Mana Flare coming in here. Guard towers finishing off the high armor fairy dragons, as the Chimera is unable to get to position again. This is just one of those situations where perhaps that Chimera should land over here and at least try to take some position back. Make sure that they're not going to get flanked. Slowly push across here, as the mortar teams are not going to be able to attack them. And now more ivory towers being added again. Let's take a look at the next fight here. Mana Burn coming in. Panda. Earth Storm and Fire is available if he wants to try and do this. Here you go. In comes the attack. Going after the Rifleman. Earth Storm and Fire here, ready to go. Immolation on fire. There's Earth coming across as well. Does deal critical strike damage. 2 level 6 heroes not going to be able to win out, as you see them pressing very far forward, getting attacked by these guard towers when they could have just engaged off over here. There was no reason for them to press that far. Demon Hunter continuing that pressure once more. As you see, perhaps some Cyclones will be added. There was a quick taunt attack. Guard towers should get finished off, or it should get canceled. There goes one. There goes another. And perhaps the Chimeras could easily take down these guard towers here. But is it going to be enough? Continuing to fight, continuing to engage. Water Elemental going to get taken out. Just take down these units from off over here, and that should buy you at least a little bit more experience again. Supply count 51 over 90, and there is the GG. Infi wins the War of Attrition in this 34-minute marathon session. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. That is all the day 1 games from the Ting Invitational. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you watched all the way to the end, definitely give me a thumbs up.